Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossin' on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. There we go.
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I am Dell. I'm joined by Big Savage Greg. He's an ass eater, baby. Ass eater security.
Not just glass eaters, big glass eater security, man. How about this, man? We got the left side and the right side. I mean, two big 6'8" guys. Going to be hard to get around them, right?
Trademark pinning from Jolly. We got Browntons.
Oh, there we go. I'm liking that. We got to get a shot. We got to get a T-shirt ready here shortly, right? Who, Dave, Chris, Wade, have some fun, buddy.
How can Wade not like my beautiful editing jersey skills? I mean, they're perfection. You get on paint, you whip it up, you put it on the graphic, bam, 2 minutes done. Can't beat it. Elite Photoshop type skills right there. But it's just paint. Majestic is what you meant to say, Wade. Majestic.
Why is Greg not blasting cool in the game?
Well, he was gonna rub the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart.
Well, we got to sign Tart to do. That was the deal. We got to get Tart also, and I've heard reports that we're out on him, so that unfortunately that might not happen.
Well, I guess you just got to rub shit all over your body.
Yep, that will.
Just shit and save it and bring it on the show. No, I don't think we want to do that. That might get us canceled.
Yeah, that might.
If you've been living under a rock the past, hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
Trent Brown signed with the Bengals, 1-year deal. Have not seen the money yet. Don't really care. We have plenty of it currently. So it's a 1-year deal. He's expected to be the starting right tackle. In his press conference, he said he didn't really, give a shit, basically. If they draft somebody, it's not his problem. You know what I mean? He's worried about coming in and helping win this year. Seeing old Teddy K in the hot tub, which I've seen some concerned citizens that Teddy K should not be in a hot tub with a new tattoo, makes me get the conspiracy theorist hat out and go, did Ted get a real tattoo? Was that a real tattoo?
Hey, if that's our biggest concern, then we're living a good life right now.
Yeah, but I still want to complain, Greg. Why are we supposed to do a defensive tackle?
Hey, come on, Dale. Come on, man. Everything works out, buddy. Everything works out. Come on.
Why haven't we traded for someone? It could be worse. Speaking of Brown, the Browns gave Jerry Jeudy a big contract with what was it?
Like $54 million, 3 years, $54 million, I think.
Guaranteed money was like $47 million or something. Hey, here's all the money, you and Deshaun Watson. He's never had a 1,000-yard receiving season. I don't think he's a bad player, but damn.
Certainly hasn't done anything to make me say, hey, it makes me say, hey, this guy's worth it. The Browns, they're just going all in, man, aren't they?
I don't know what they're doing. Instead of all in, I would agree with Wade. The Browns are just stupid.
Yeah, Wade, I can second you on that. Come on, but Dale. Oh.
Robert's thinking maybe Trent Brown, his contract will be $8 to $12 million. We kind of said yesterday, I think 7.5 was kind of the projection for him most places. But if he comes in at 8 on a 1-year deal, you can't really complain about that $8 or $9 million.
No, you can't.
Derek?
What's up, Derek?
What's going on, fellas? We anything exciting happened today, or
something minor and all that? We got what was the nickname that one guy the guy in the chat gave?
Well, now we have the Browntons.
Browntons.
Brown Mountains. The Browntons.
Oh man, if it's brown, lock it down, right?
Yeah, and I told Greg if we don't sign Teair Tart still, he's just got to rub shit on his body instead of brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta figure it out.
Yeah. Or do it Ocho Cinco did and change his last name,
There you go.
See if Mike Brown will adopt you, Greg. Then you could maybe get in on part ownership of the team.
There you go, Greg Brown. GB, I could work with that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There we go. But like I say, I think we were all like, I think Bengals fans over the weekend were just getting antsy. They're like, I can't take this anymore. This, that, the other. The Bengals don't know what they're doing, or they don't care, blah, blah, blah. That's all I had to hear over the weekend. Do you think this will shut a couple Bengals fans up, or you still think people are going to still keep complaining?
The goalpost always gets moved, but I think this signing honestly will make a lot of people happy. But
yes,
right. And we talked about that yesterday, right? If we could fill one of those holes, you're going to feel a little bit better. And you feel, I mean, it's a guy who's been injured a lot, so you have to take that into account. By no means are you done filling out depth at offensive tackle, in my opinion. Probably going to be the draft most likely. But you have to feel better about having a veteran in. And, if it's like, hey, a bunch of them go off the board and we don't like what's here at 18, don't force anything. Get Jerzon Newton. We like Johnny Newton anyways.
Yep.
Exactly. So, like I say, it's only 1 year deal too, but I know who was it, Mike Sands, that posted yesterday. He was just being honest, he does get hurt a lot. We all see, you look it up, he has gotten hurt, but when he's on his game, he's on his game. He's one of the best tackles in the league. And I'll take that chance right now. And another good thing to point out is he can play left tackle, and he's damn good at it too. So say if Orlando Brown goes down, you can swing him over to left tackle if you need to.
Yeah, and if you drafted somebody at right tackle and then they come in, it could be halfway through the year, and it could work out. You could also go with Brown and Pound because you got the two Browns. You got
there we go.
2 5'9" running backs running behind those giants out on the football field.
Yep.
It's an interesting time.
Yes, it is.
We saw right before we hopped on here, reported that Christian Fulton, the cornerback from Tennessee who played with Jamar Chase in high school and college, is taking a visit to the Chargers?
Chargers, yeah. He's flying in tomorrow night, and he's going to visit them Thursday.
Yeah, and we're to the point to where, kind of like with Trent Brown, right? Once a meeting was set up, that all came together pretty quickly once he got there. A lot of these guys are like, I know that didn't work out with Tart, Becton, whatever, last week, but this is another week later, almost half a week, whatever you want to say. So a lot of these guys, I mean, they're signing. If they're visiting, they're signing unless something physical's failed or something. Yeah.
Well, one thing to point about Becton, they kept saying, Aaron Wilson said he had other visits. Where are those other visits lined up? I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. And who knows? And maybe he screwed himself, or maybe he's still a candidate to come here because he does know Pollock if he's willing to compete for a guard spot or if he's willing to be a swing tackle. We don't know. I mean, if they're just collecting big ass dudes right now, Mekhi Becton's a big ass dude.
Yep.
Hey. If his last name was Brown, I would almost just
Yep. Triple B.
Yeah.
But like I say, I mean, hey. Like I say, it's better than nothing right now. A lot bigger than I think we could agree. A lot bigger than Jonah Williams Brown is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're worried about arm length and size and this and that.
Yeah.
Now you do still worry about speed around the edge, but I mean he's just a monster. If he gets his hands on a guy, it's pretty much over. So that's always nice.
I was going to say it's the same. It's the same reason why we all wanted DeJuan Jones last year. Mammoth of a man.
Well, and I mean DeJuan Jones is going to be on a rookie contract and this and that. Don't take me back to the dark path, Derek.
Sorry. Did I say that? I meant. No, I don't have another way to go with that.
Well, I mean, we got some good pieces last year in the draft. I mean, I want to see DJ Turner progress, obviously, and that's why we thought maybe they'd go corner. I think now, I mean, to me, there's still a couple guys out there at corner. Steven Nelson being one of them. I haven't seen that he signed somewhere. I could be wrong on that. And then Stephon Gilmore, if he plans to play another season, he's still playing at a pretty high level.
Yeah. So, and then
where Fulton's just younger, but he didn't play as good as those two guys this past season.
Yeah. And then the Pat Pete's still out there, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still out there. So maybe, but they could also be like, you know what? There was interest maybe last year. I don't know if there was for sure, but it seemed like maybe there was going to be some mutual interest that way. And he went to the Steelers, so they might just be like, "Screw you, buddy."
Right.
Yeah.
He's also not getting any younger, but I mean, he still played at a decent level. But I mean, to me, if you're going to go older, I think I'd go Stephon Gilmore, and Steven Nelson's a little older too. I mean, I think Gilmore is even older, but Steven Nelson played at a pretty high level for the Texans. So
yes,
if you're looking for a vet corner, there's still some out there, and then there's still the old dog that we used to have, old Eli Apple.
Yeah, I'll take Eli. You're out there, man. I would gladly take Eli. How old is Eli Apple?
I don't know. Look it up.
How old is Eli Apple?
Probably
28
29.
or 29, I think. Yeah.
I was just gonna guess 29.
And the answer, not Eli. No, that's a friend of mine. God damn it.
Greg's looking up his friends' ages.
I do everything myself here.
You heard it here first.
Damn you, Siri, you lazy bitch.
Greg is best friends with Eli Apple.
No, I'm not.
Tyler says he's 28, so probably turning 29 this season. Tyler, is that
Tyler?
Tyler,
TikTok Tyler?
Not used to it, just saying Tyler.
I mean, if he's 28, no, let me look up Eli Apple's PFF last year.
It wasn't that good, but he was good against the run.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I remember we went through it on the show. And
I see coverage 48, but his run was 86.
Yeah, he had a really good defense grade. So.
But what are we looking for, though, in a corner? I mean, you got guys that can run deep. I mean, maybe he would be a good guy to have against the run. I don't know.
Well, and now you feel a little better about the safety depth and the guys who can keep you from giving up the big plays and being in the right spots on the back end as far as safeties go. So, if you're just looking for maybe it's a game where you're like, all right, we need somebody in there that can tackle because this team's going to try to run the ball against us because we don't have nose tackles. So,
how many missed tackles have we had? We've had a lot of missed tackles. We led the league in missed tackles. So maybe Eli Apple would be a great pickup.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Baltimore's going to run the ball.
Yep.
It's a possibility. Yeah, with Derrick Henry, they're definitely going to run the ball. So,
but you know where else I'm going to run to?
Football.
You know where else that I'm going to run to soon? Midwest Best Barbecue and 50 West Beer, proud sponsors of the show. Head on down to both. They're awesome. That's where you need to run down to right now.
You forgot to do that yesterday.
Every time Greg says that, like, we can never guess the answer.
You know what's awesome? I don't know, Greg.
I don't know.
You know what's rising me up right now? Midwest Best and 50 West.
You raise me up.
You mean like rising you up? Okay. You lick a little barbecue sauce and it gets the juices flowing.
Yep.
Is that your pre-show? Do you like snort it? Do you just sniff it?
Put the barbecue on the skin or else it gets the hose again.
Like a tiger.
Okay. Well, you guys aren't talking about much. I'm trying to look something up. I
was trying to transition off of that, but it's kind of a hard transition there.
Yeah, I know.
All you can think about is Greg smothered in barbecue sauce.
Just layered in barbecue sauce.
Yep.
Absolutely. Lather him up.
It's very interesting, Derek.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your guys' opinion? Are you okay with saying BPA at 18 now, or are you still kind of on the right tackle train?
Like I said, man, if DT's there, obviously DT is still something we haven't taken care of yet. I mean, can we all agree on this? I do not want to go into the draft with the DTs we have now. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, 100%. But that's very possible unless your big signing is going to be Josh Tupou, because that's probably going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw Joe Goodberry's chart. I mean, after Tart, and apparently they're not interested. It's not good. I mean,
no, and he had a guy on there I mentioned that's maybe the next tier, and that's Jonathan Hankins, but he didn't have good grades versus PFF, but he's had some decent flashes here and there in his career. If you're just looking for a body, you could do worse than Jonathan Hankins, but he is getting older as well.
Then Sebastian Day, who you did like, Dale, signed today with the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, and he could have gave you some snaps as a nose tackle, but I just they should be getting some talent on the defensive line, in my opinion. Adding more to it, you know.
So, Arrow, me and Dale were talking. Do you think it's more of an attitude or a money issue with Tart?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that a little bit yesterday. I think now I'm starting to feel like it's an attitude thing because, like, if it was a money thing, in my opinion, we would have heard something. You know, his agent would have said, you know, the Bengals were offering such and such, and the deal is quote unquote not closed. You know,
right? He has no other leverage, though. He has no other leverage. Tart does. Nobody.
I think it was money originally, and I think the Bengals pivoted. So now the character stuff, the character stuff was already there. We talked about that yesterday. He was released by Tennessee for that effort and character issues and attitude or whatever. So, and the Bengals still put in a claim for him, and they were still brought him in for a visit. They had serious interest. I mean, I just think the money was off. Like I said, he was projected to get 7. If he was at 7, if the Bengals offered, let's say, I know Joe Goodberry speculated that they offered 6, might have offered 6. It's speculation, but let's just say we offered 6 and he wanted 10.
Right.
Yeah.
But who's he getting 10 from at this point? I don't know. Chase Young got 13 from the Saints, so you can never say never, I guess. But shit, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know. What's the drop off, or is there one from Chase to Tart?
There's a huge. Chase.
What do you mean, though?
Like as far as PFF grades go, I know they're two totally different players, but you're talking edge versus the interior lineman. But
right, yeah. I mean, I just don't think you can compare them, and I think with Young, everybody's still like, we can get that second overall pick. We can get that Ohio State guy. You know what I mean? Everybody's just hoping to get that. Whereas Tart, I mean, he's a nose tackle that's mid-tier, you know?
Right.
He's okay, and he's 27, so you're still hoping you maybe could get the best out of him because the year before this past year, he had a really good season for Tennessee.
No, I remember Pork Chop. We were texting with Pork Chop. Didn't Pork Chop make a good point? Do we really need a nose tackle? I know that's a loose system, but could we get by without a nose tackle?
I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know. You're got to change some things up, and I don't know what the Bengals' plan is. You know, having Tart in makes me. We talked about that. Having Tart in makes me think that that's not their plan is to get away from a nose tackle. But then you're really starting to force some needs in the draft and not a deep class. Dustin here with the $5 super chat says, crazy how fast that moved on Trent Brown. The dude even get a whole stadium tour before signing. LOL.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he got lunch, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Hopefully he got some.
Was Jeff Ruby's even open this
That's what I said to myself. Hopefully, whatever the hell he went to, look, it was good enough for him. Like, here, where's that pen and paper? Because usually, you know, like I say, man, you know, usually when the Bengals have a guy visit, sometimes they take their time signing a guy, but clearly something was agreed upon.
Well, it sounds like, too, he was in kind of early because he mentioned Ted Karras before he even did a lift. Those guys probably get in early and kind of do that stuff. So I'm guessing Brown was here early this morning. Probably got him a nice-ass brunch, you know, maybe a mimosa. Maybe somebody ordered him
maybe he went over to E&O.
Like Frank Pollock could have ordered him a mimosa. I can't even say mimosa.
Or maybe Burrow had it.
My mama said I can't say mimosa.
No, maybe Burrow had him over for crackers and cupcakes.
Maybe.
I don't know, man. Trent Brown ain't settling for no ass cupcakes, brother. That's a large man.
Hey, it worked for Lyle Collins. It worked for who are the other? Karras and Cap. I'm telling you, man. I'd like to know where Burrow got those crackers and cupcakes, man. I'd love to go.
It's like breakfast time, and they're like, "What do you want for breakfast?" And he's like, "A 32-ounce ribeye."
No, you know Jeff Ruby, and Jeff Ruby. You know, if he named a steak after Trent Brown, what would it be called?
The brown hole.
Brown hole.
That would be called the Trent Brown challenge. If you finish this steak within less than 30 minutes, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Or you have to get a tattoo of you with two women like Trent Brown had. Derek, is that your next tattoo?
Yeah, is that your next? Yeah.
I don't think the wife would go for that one.
Yeah, and Trent Brown signing on the first day of spring. It just feels right.
There you go.
Yeah. Technically, that was yesterday, but we'll go with it.
Sindustry
Let's go with
says it was today, Derek.
This all makes sense now. Who was it?
Sindustry
Listen
says
here.
maybe they recreated the tattoo for him, but with hookers. So that's where Chop's been.
Dean said it the best. He went to Midwest Best. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even though it was closed today, Tim and Nicole, they're like, yeah, we're open for you today. No, I would have done the same thing. So, Tim and Nicole, if they didn't go to, let us know if we can confirm that, because that would be awesome.
He's too close to the stadium, Greg. He didn't go to Midwest.
Look, man, it's not a bad drive, so stop it.
He went and he got him some brunch, 2 32-ounce steaks. I'm going with 2 of them now. And he signed on the dotted line and had a press conference already.
Yep.
Dude, whatever matters, whatever kind of state they I'd like to know the place he went to, because that would make me in a good mood too.
All right, Greg, I got a mission for you. Look up all the players the Ravens lost, because I'm on signings and I can't see all the guys they lost from this page, but I'm going to go through some of the AFC North additions and stuff, at least per PFF. And it seems like they're missing some of them, honestly, so that's why I'm like, I don't fully trust this, but so re-sign Nelson Aguilar. Does that move the needle? 1 year,
Nope.
almost $4 million? No. Re-sign Matabuke, 4 years,
Yep.
$98 million. Now that's a good move. I mean, he was a stud for them. I think he had 13 sacks last year, so pretty good player. Re-sign Malik Harrison, 1 year to be determined. That's linebacker depth, right? We brought back Akeem Davis-Gaither, a similar role.
Yep.
Now, the only signing I've got for them, outside free agent, is Derrick Henry, 2 years, $16 million. Good signing. But I know they lost at least 3 linemen.
Yeah.
Because they traded Morgan Moses, and they lost both their starting guards, John Simpson and Kevin Zeitler. Zeitler ended up going to Detroit yesterday. Released Tyus Bowser. Re-signed Brent Urban 1 year. Released Odell Beckham Jr. And re-signed quarterback Josh Johnson 1 year. And we also know their other backup quarterback went to Cleveland. So is Josh Johnson their main backup right now?
Yep.
Like
Tyler Huntley went to Cleveland.
Okay, you ready? Ronald Darby left for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
good. He was a good corner last year. Graded out really highly.
Devin Duvernay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Gus Edwards, Los Angeles Chargers.
Good goal line, short yardage back for them.
Long snapper, Tyler Ott, Washington Commanders. Lost your long snapper. Not good.
Not good.
Delshon Phillips, Houston Texans.
Deshaun Phillips.
Patrick Queen really doesn't benefit us too much because he went to the Steelers.
Yeah, but he's not on the Ravens, so that's the starting linebacker.
John Simpson, offensive lineman, New York Jets. And some guy named Geno Stone. Where did he go to? Huh?
Went to the Bengals. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Guy with 7 interceptions last season. So
Yep. And
all that. So all that and stuff. Kevin Zeitler. Anyone out? There's more. You're still
Kevin
going?
Zeitler. Other transactions. Beckham released. Tyler Bowser released. Morgan Moses traded.
Yep.
Do you want me to read you who's still out there for him, or?
No, that's all right.
All right.
Now let me ask you something. Is this coming year the first year where they were really having to start paying for Lamar?
I believe so. Here, let me look up his contract.
I have no idea.
Okay.
While you're looking that up, I'll go ahead and start with the Browns. So another division team acquired and now paid like $47 million guaranteed to Jerry Jeudy. Maybe a good move. I don't know. Right. I mean, can Watson even get them the ball? Maybe it would have been a better move with Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that they brought back Zadarius Smith, 2 years, $23.5 million. I like it for them. I don't like it for us, I should say. Like, that seems like a good move.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks, I think went to Lakota East High School, played at Texas. We
Yes.
always thought he'd end up on the Bengals at some point. He signed with the Browns 2 years, $8 million. Jameis Winston, they're collecting quarterbacks, by the way. There'll be more than one on here. 1 year, $4 million for Jameis. Naheem Hines, who was injured most of last year, coming out from Buffalo, used to play for the Colts. Good return man, if nothing else. Good little weapon out of the backfield in the passing game. So he also signed with Cleveland, which gives them a little bit at running back. Re-signed guard Michael Dunn. I kind of like that guy. Re-signed Shelby Harris. I thought he could have been a guy maybe we would have brought in. Re-signed a punter. Don't give a shit. Signed a tight end. Giovanni Ricci. Don't give a shit. They signed Quentin Jefferson 1 year. The amount's unknown. I kind of liked him from the Jets. They signed Devin Bush 1 year to be determined. Big move for them, right? No one cares. He hasn't been good.
Yep.
Signed safety Rodney McLeod 1 year to be determined. Signed Tyler Huntley, who left the Ravens 1 year to be determined. And wide receiver James Proche. So what besides Zadarius Smith and re-signing some, and Quentin Jefferson maybe, and then Jerry Jeudy if he pans out. That's 3 moves that you say, those are okay moves, right? It's mainly re-signing their own guys, though. Smith's their own guy. So how much have they really improved compared to last year? I mean, they were a good team last year. But I'm just saying, if we're looking at other teams in our division, how much better would you say they got, Derek?
And didn't they lose Chubb, or there was possibly
still out there
moving on from Chubb?
Chubb's still on their team.
Oh, still on the team. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Okay. The people thought they might move on.
Yeah.
Or
with the running backs, not anymore. With running backs getting paid, not anymore.
Yeah, it's not seeming likely. Greg, did you have that from?
Yep. Lamar Jackson base salary $14,250,000. So
still friggin'.
I was going to say, man, that's not bad at all. The year after that, $20,250,000, and 2026, $51,250,000, and that's the same deal for 2027. But they'll probably just restructure as time goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know, Crip. I don't know what's different, buddy. I don't know. I don't have anything different. It's just the same me. Maybe my camera has moved forward a little bit. I don't know. Stillers. So they released Mitch Trubisky. Oh, damn. Released their punter, Presley Harvin. Released tackle Okafor. Released Mason Cole. Released Keanu Neal. Released Patrick Peterson. Released Allen Robinson. They went on a release spree, by the way.
Yeah.
Signed Braden Fajeko 1 year. Doesn't give the amount. Signed Cameron Johnston 3 years, $9 million. Punter. Patrick Queen that we were talking about left to go to the Steelers. 3 years, $41 million. It's a lot of money, and really he had a good year last year, but how much of that was because of Roquan? He hasn't really lived up to the first-round pick status, has he? Would you guys say Patrick Queen's lived up to the first-round pick status to this point?
You know, he had a good year last year, but no, he was never consistent. I mean, I remember his first 3 years, everybody considered him a bust, literally.
Yeah. And then they acquired
I would say that – I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I would say Jonah's ultimately had a better year than Patrick Queen, and a lot of people were upset about that, about us not getting Queen.
Oh, yeah, I was. I wanted Patrick Queen. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. What, in the draft?
The draft. Oh, not free agency.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of Joe Burrow, obviously, because that was
right. That LSU offensive and defensive MVPs from the national championship.
Well, you know what? And with Fulton, I mean, because if you look at Fulton, his PFFs, all in the 40s. If he wasn't teammates with Joe Burrow and Chase, I guarantee a lot of Bengals fans wouldn't have any interest in it.
Right.
Even though he's still only like 25 or 26. I'm just saying, I'm not going to cry a river if we don't get Fulton, you know. Just got to remember his PFF scores are not great.
And then the Steelers acquired via trade Dante Jackson. They gave up Deontay Johnson. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson for Dante Jackson. But re-signed Miles Killebrew, mainly safety, but mainly special teams ace for their team. 2 years, $6.5 million. Safety Deshaun Elliott, 2 years, $6 million. Montravius Adams, re-signed 2 years, 5.2. That could have been another body as a nose tackle type for us. They signed Van Jefferson as an outside free agent. That doesn't move the needle too much. But their big moves was obviously at quarterback with Russ on the 1 year, and then they traded nothing basically for Justin Fields. So
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields could pan out for them a little bit. What do you guys think?
I do too. Yeah, I'm actually really big on Fields. So I still think that he was done wrong in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that, and it could be the homer in me coming out, but you see the talent. You saw the talent at Ohio State. It's hard to say that it doesn't translate because of what they did. Those or was it 1 year or 2 years? It was 2 years, wasn't it? For Fields at Ohio State.
At least 2, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I still see it. I still see him having a shot of making it in the NFL. I mean, hell, Marcus Mariota is still hanging on by a thread. So,
yeah. And now I'll go through like our moves, So let's go through those and compare it to the rest of the AFC North. Now I know we finished last in the division. We were still over 500. We didn't have Joe Burrow that whole time, but so far franchise tagged T. Higgins. We assume he's going to be here next year, but it doesn't seem like the Bengals are budging on that one. Cody Ford, 1 year, $1.35 million. That one gets Greg excited. Cody Ford's the man.
Glass eater.
Travion Williams, 1 year to be determined. So third running back as of now. We'll see if we draft somebody. Drew Sample, Derek's favorite player.
Yo, Dale.
3 years, $10.5 million. So good blocker, right? You can move him around. Replaces P. Ryan a little bit last year as far as the things he can do. And then safety Geno Stone. So Greg, you mentioned him from the Ravens, 2 years. It says $15 million. I thought it was 14, whatever, 14, $15 million for 2 year deal. 7 interceptions last season. I think he helped solidify that, along with Von Bell, who we brought back on 1 year. They list $6 million because that's how screwed up PFF is. Like, you can't hire somebody that didn't double check that. We're paying him vet minimum.
Yeah.
Carolina is paying that salary. But Von Bell with Jordan Battle, Dax Hill, and Geno Stone, the safety room seems a lot better.
It's locked.
Shouldn't be giving up the big home run plays like we were in the secondary portion of that, which is huge, right? If you're going to get gashed in the run game anyways, at least now you're not getting beat on the back end so much.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Moss. So we know we traded Mixon, signed the extension with the Texans. We brought in Moss. He is more used to running out of shotgun throughout his career than Joe Mixon. I'm not going to say he's better than Joe Mixon. It's just they're just different types. Like Joe's probably going to thrive with the under center play action stuff that Houston does.
Yep, definitely better than Najee Harris.
Yeah.
And then
we'll see.
Go ahead, Greg.
Well, I mean, because we're talking about the running back room. This is a good debate. Whether people said yes or no, whether it's improvement, it's like some people prefer a one back system where you just have like someone like Joe Mixon have most of the carries, and that's fine. For me personally, I think it has improved just because this fits the Bengals system better with Moss and Brown and whoever that third other guy's going to be. This is something I wanted the Bengals to do for like the last 2 years at least. So, in my opinion, it has improved, but I can see where people would disagree with that.
Right. And then Mike Gesicki, the Gesicki slurpers like Greg and Joe and
Daddy.
Pork Chop. Derek, are you a Gesicki slurper?
No, I'm not. I don't mind them. I
don't mind them.
With him. Yeah.
I might become one. We'll see. Pending. Status pending.
I'm excited as hell.
I'm still a big T. Huddy guy.
Hey, we got both. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah.
He's on here too. So I mentioned we re-signed Akeem Davis-Gaither. We released Nick Scott and definitely improved the safety room overall. Sheldon Rankins, 2 years, $24.5 million. I like it, right? I like this press conference. I like what he can do. If he can stay healthy, he's going to help this team. He's going to help this team in all phases, and his leadership, and he's a good player.
That's a guy. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. I mean,
get on it, Greg. Get him on the show.
There's a bunch of Bengals I want on the show, but that's a guy I'd love to have.
Get him. You got to get him, and you got to get Trent Brown so we can talk about his tattoo.
What makes you think I haven't reached out to any of them yet?
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm just saying, you got to lock them in.
Dude, I will run down to the stadium
for the people.
Should I run down the stadium with my War shaving cream on my face?
Trent. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, Greg.
Hey,
that's what T. Higgins tweeted was about. Greg locking up Trent Brown and Sheldon Rankins for the Bengals and Brews.
They're locked up. We won't let them out. They got to come on the show. Von Bell, we mentioned. Tanner Hudson, we mentioned. Trenton Irwin, that became official today. And then the other big news of the day, Trent Brown. So if you look just at the outside guys we added, Geno Stone, Zach Moss, Mike Gesicki, Sheldon Rankins, Von Bell back, Trent Brown. That starts to look pretty good when you add all that up. And you compare it to some of these other free agency moves throughout the rest of our division. What do you guys think overall? Who would you give the highest grade to of the 4 teams that I just went through for the free agency period? And not that these grades mean jack shit. They never do.
Yeah.
But, even for me, who's been a little like, come on, I wish we could have done a little more here or there. I mean, we did lose Reader, so you got to take that into account. But overall,
I should say the Ravens just lost too many players because what they gained with what's his name, Derrick Henry.
What if he's injured, Greg? He's getting older. I'm just saying, what if Derrick Henry, and you could say this about any player, but what if Derrick Henry gets injured?
No, Eric, you know who I can honestly say? The Steelers, just because they've upgraded quarterback really well. They got, Patrick Queen, so they upgraded.
And their coach is really good. Their coach is Mike Tomlin.
As much as I don't want to say this, you could argue the Steelers. You could argue the Steelers. So.
If
got
Russ
9
could
wins
be halfway decent.
him.
Yeah. With Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, they were able to,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Now you've got 2 better quarterbacks. So you could go the Steelers. The Browns, in their minds, they do well. But Judy, what the hell has Judy done to earn $41 million guaranteed?
Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
So, I just don't get it. Everybody kept saying, oh, such a good move, such a good move. It was low risk, high reward. What reward is there? Am I crazy?
I mean, I don't know. I just even worry about, if I was a Browns fan, I would be like, is Njoku still even going to get the touches that he deserves? We saw with a competent quarterback how Njoku blew up with Joe Flacco.
Why? Yep. Let me ask you this. Why did the Browns did Joe Flacco, he just got slapped in the face. He got you to the playoffs with a bunch of hurt, half your team was hurt.
Yeah, your whole line was basically hurt.
That's what I'm saying. You just crap on him, and I felt so bad. Joe Flacco, they find a way to make me feel sorry for Baker, and now you crap on Joe Flacco. I'm sorry.
I was never a big Joe Flacco.
I was never a Flacco fan, but the point of it is how they've done him. How he came in with nothing to work with. I'm sorry.
And then they're like, we're going to bring Jameson. We're going to bring Tyler Huntley in.
Right.
We drafted Dorian. What are they doing with 4 quarterbacks, by the way? Dorian Thompson Robinson. What are they doing there?
No, all 4 of them had made the Pro Bowl, too. Except for Dorian Thompson. But
I was going to say.
But
Tyler Huntley, man, that is such a fucking joke that Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl.
But Derek, going back to what you're saying, whether you're a big Joe Flacco fan or not, you have to admire the season he had. Coming in there, 39 years old, everybody thought he was done. Dude, whether you're a fan of him or not, did a hell of a job, and they crapped on him.
No, Jolly. Buff Bagwell is alive and well, sir. I just seen someone get pictures with him last week at a convention. Tyler had said he's going to be in Ashland soon. You know who else was in Ashland over the weekend? Cam Taylor-Britt. I didn't even know it. I left 45 minutes from there instead of 2 hours like everything else.
Oh, by the way, a draft update, Dale, and I know Dusty's going to – Dusty, if you're watching, you're going to be very happy to hear about this. Kelsey Conway tweeted, a name to keep an eye on in regards to the Bengals draft has interest in tight end Dalian Holker out of Colorado State. They said tight ends coach James Casey attended his pro day, and he's a pass-catching tight end who is projected around 3 through 5. I know Dusty, who is
more like round 5.
Right, like I know 5. Dusty's a big fan. I remember Dusty about him. So, Dusty, if you're watching this, keep an eye on that right now, buddy.
Man, if they would take that guy over Jared Wiley, Cade Stover, Theo John, like I'm just saying, the third round, let's say any of those guys are there, that would be a bad move. Dude's been injured a ton. He is like 24 years old already.
Right.
I just don't see it with him. And here's another draft thing from our buddy Travis here. I'm tricked on the thought of adding Newton or Murphy and then Braylon Trice, the edge from Washington at 18 and 49. Getting O-tackle wide receiver in the third. Thoughts? I'm good with Newton and Murphy. I'm not a big Trice guy, and he weighed in 30 pounds, like 245 at edge. And he doesn't play like that, so I don't know how he performs in the NFL.
Right. So, like I say, though, man, it'll be interesting. But, all right, but I'll still go back. I know we talked about this a little bit. I want to ask you again, if you were a betting man, and it came down either drafting a tight end or a wide receiver, what do you think they have a better chance of drafting right now, a tight end or wide receiver?
In the third round?
All right, say if it was rounds 3 through 5, say if you only knew they were going to draft either a tight end or wide receiver, what do you think is more of a need right now to draft? Let me ask you, put it that way. What is more of a need, in your opinion?
If we're saying a need for this year, I think slot receiver because Charlie Jones is just unproven. Derek, I'm getting a lot of feedback, buddy, so –
all right, yeah, I'm getting bad service and stuff anyway, so
okay, brother.
I'll just tell you my real quick thoughts on that. I would definitely go receiver ahead of tight end just because we've proven that year after year after year you can find a guy for a year and put it in the system and it works. So you're with receiver, you're definitely looking into the future with that pick. So I would say receiver.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though.
I'm going to let Derek off here first, Greg. See you, brother.
All right. See you guys. Who day?
Everybody. Who day? Yeah, to go back on that, but Chase, what if you could get another outside receiver and move Chase into the slot, though?
Well, you still don't want to move him to the slot full-time. He's a piece that you want to move around. You don't want to – you know what I mean? And you already kind of have that. Like, you can move Charlie Jones. You can move Yoshi more outside.
Right.
I mean, that's what they've done throughout their – college careers.
No, that is true. But Trent Irwin, man, I wonder if they're going to give him
Trent Irwin could be on the outside.
I wonder if can Trent Irwin play the slot?
Maybe.
I think Trent Irwin. Let me ask you this, man. Well, I know Yoshi and Charlie Jones, but Trent Irwin, man, it just every time at training camp last year, man, kept making plays. I think he deserves a bigger. In a way, I think he deserves a bigger role the next year.
Yeah,
I think he's earned it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything against Trenton. I just think Yoshi has the higher upside.
Yeah, Yoshi has a higher upside. But
you drafted Charlie Jones in the 4th round, so you really need to see what you have in him with more snaps. But to go back to your question on tight end or wide receiver for me, I think wide receiver because there's some slot wide receivers I really like Malik Washington out of Virginia. If I could get that guy at pick 97 or in the 4th round, I mean, he's smaller. He's like 5'8", but the dude makes contested catches. He had 1,300 plus yards at Virginia last year. I've been high on him throughout this whole process, and that's just a name that I would love to add him and put him in the slot with Higgins and Chase on the outside, and that guy just eating up people. Jacob Cowing maybe as a 4th or 5th round guy. He's only 165 pounds, but he just gets first downs.
So is this a loaded slot receiver class in your opinion?
It's a loaded receiver class because you could say guys like Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson, Ladd McConkey are all slot receivers too. Xavier Worthy, you could play him in the slot or on the outside with his speed.
Okay, so very versatile. Very versatile. I like that.
Yeah, it's just a deep wide receiver class. It's not as deep at tight end, but there is some guys I really like. Especially if we're talking like pick 97. I mean, I've mentioned Theo Johnson, Cade Stover. I'm forgetting somebody.
By the way, boy, you're thinking that Tre'Davious White visiting the Rams today, and Shaq Griffin, we knew that. He's signing with the Vikings and all that and stuff. But, yeah,
all that and stuff, baby.
Yeah, God damn it. No, you got me. But, yeah, no. Okay, I'm glad it's a good loaded receiver class. So, like, you're not forced to take a receiver in a certain round. That's what you want. My fear is that one year when there was a huge runoff for receivers in the first 2 rounds, I believe Pierce. I really wanted the Bengals to get Pierce because he was a Bearcat. But no, he would have fit our system. He went like in the second round, but I thought we were going to get him like in the third or fourth round because there was such a huge runoff on receivers that year. Remember that was the year Ritter was in there at quarterback. I forget which year it was. It was like 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know what you said. I was reading something, but
yeah, you're ignoring me as usual. It's okay, Dale.
Yeah, Benson Ott, stranger. Thank you. That's my other guy.
Oh, Benson Ott. Okay, that's right.
But yeah, if you get any of those guys in the third round, I'd be happy. Yeah, and then the KP from KC 5, Corley or Baker. Corley is very interesting because he's built like a running back. The kid from Western Kentucky, the old Hilltopper. I like him. He hasn't tested yet. I'm hoping he tests at a pro day or something and we get his numbers because he didn't test at the combine. I've got him as a third round guy, but I think he could potentially even, but if Corley's there in the third round, he intrigues me because then you got a nice slot weapon that you just get the ball in his hands and he's built like a running back.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say? Back to, I think it was about receiver or something. Oh, crap. No. Gesicki. Remember, he's going to play the slot most of the time, too, at tight end. You got
we don't know how they're going to use him completely, but, yeah, you're right. He will line up there. But so did Hudson, and we had Tyler Boyd. You know what I mean? So it's
I think we're going to
got to replace.
It feels like – don't you feel like after Burrow got hurt, we were involved – when Browning came in, it seems like we were involving the tight ends away a lot more. Like most of the time, you just saw – Irv out there most of the time, but then all of a sudden, man, you see Hudson, Sample out there all the time. Then you saw Wilcox get involved more. You saw 3 tight ends at once. I felt like we were using the tight ends a hell of a lot more when Browning came in.
Yeah, and I don't know how much we'll see that, how much it'll carry over with Burrow if we use, 2 or 3 tight ends that much. But I think Gesicki's definitely going to get his touches, obviously.
Man. I wonder, man, do you just try to call Tyler Boyd to say, hey, man, would you have any interest come back, or is that not even –
I was thinking that the other day, like at what point, if his market dries up, that you say $3-4 million?
Yeah. Because I remember, I believe Bengals captain, who we were on Strawberry Ice Show, he said he loves it here a lot, but he said he'd stay here, but what pay cut he did say. So you just wonder, man, does he love it here that much? What is his cost? Or maybe the Bengals are just like, look, we just want to start over.
And they might. And they might. And it might be centered on the 2 guys that they have that they seen some last year in Charlie Jones and Yoshi. Now, I would still bring Boyd back. I don't think you can ever have too many.
No.
Receiver is like corner. They get injured a lot, and you can use several of them on both sides of the ball. That's why you need both.
The reason is, the thing of it is, I know this isn't fair to say too much with Boyd, but man, that drop against the Texans, man, that just cost us a huge the playoffs right there. I get that, but Boyd's still a good, reliable receiver to have. But it makes you wonder, man. It's been second week. You don't see anybody reaching to grab him immediately, And
well, there's even some talk like the Steelers don't know if they want to give him, and it's like we just kind of made that pairing right away. And then the Chiefs, and there's some stuff. Maybe Beckham might go to the Chiefs, and they signed Marquise Brown, and Rashee Rice really came on for them. So at some point, where does Tyler Boyd go? Do you want to go to a Carolina? Where do you like?
Let me ask you
where
this.
Do you want to go? Where do you want to be for this season? Do you try to come back with the Bengals and the system and we don't know what the Bengals offer. This is just us speculating.
Right, we're speculating.
I would be interested. Yes.
No, I would be interested in it too. But would you wait before or after the draft to do it? That's another question to think of. Would you wait before or after the draft to do it?
Yeah, and if you wait, he might not be there.
Exactly. No, like I say if you sign him back, would that prevent you from drafting a good slot receiver after 1 year?
It might, just because you're getting low on guys you could have. And, you're probably not looking at one in the third round if you have Tyler Boyd on your roster, because you still want to get Charlie Jones and Yoshi more snaps, and Trenton Irwin's back, and T's still on the team, and Chase. There's 6 right there. I don't think you can. If you brought Boyd back, and maybe that's their whole thing, they just want to see what they can do in the draft. If he's available after and it doesn't work out, they give him a call.
There you go. But yeah, no, like it just occurred to me. If he says, "Hey, give me 1 year, $3 million,"
yeah,
hell yeah, I do that. But like I said, we don't know if the Bengals are interested. We don't know if he's interested. We don't know the side of the story to that.
Yeah, just all speculation at this point on our end, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, T. Brookie said rewatch the Super Bowl big drop by Boyd in the third quarter. Yeah, there was some times where he just had some big drops throughout the past.
Hey, that was your security. He was supposed to be your security blanket. He made that easy catch for you, and he still performed well. I'm not knocking on Tyler Boyd. He had a great career for us. Right. I think he was very underappreciated at times. Made some huge catches. I mean, oh my God! Like when Higgins and Chase were getting double teamed at times, he'd be there wide open. He'd step up. No knock on Boyd at all. It's just I don't know if there's just like I say. That's a big question mark right now.
Yeah, it is. And we don't know. I mean, they've probably seen Charlie Jones in practice more to feel comfortable if he's going to transition to the slot more. We just didn't see it on the football field enough for me to feel confident.
I mean, you got to give Charlie Jones credit. He had a bad shoulder, and everybody knew he was playing with it all year. I mean, and dude, I hear, my understanding, I never hurt my shoulder, but I hear it is hell to play with a bad shoulder. So he toughed it out, man. I mean, Charlie Jones toughed it out big time. So yeah,
he's already almost 26 years old too, and he hasn't really done anything.
He's been
injured. He's been injured a lot.
That's the problem. That's where I'm not knocking Charlie Jones or anything. I just don't. You drafted a guy who just turned 25 and all that didn't make any. Yeah, he's only like.
Imagine if you drafted Puka Nacua there, Greg, instead of him.
Dale, stop.
Revisionist history.
But no, I love Charlie Jones. Let's see what he can do. I'm not ready to give up on him, obviously, just yet. But hey, old saying, you can never have enough weapons.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. We are over 50 minutes in. We didn't really plan on doing a show today because we've got a couple big other shows this week. But when Trent Brown signs that big man meat, we've got the man meat at the tackles now. Glass Eater security. Frank Pollock's got to be happy to have another big body in the room. Gives you a little flexibility. You can still draft somebody, but you have an opportunity now to develop them a little bit. Maybe it's a Cam Taylor-Britt situation. You like what you're seeing from them, but you don't have to bring them in until about halfway through the season. And then they just take off, and they take off through the playoffs like Cam did a couple years ago. So hopefully, that's the flexibility it provides. With Trent Brown, I think that's a great signing. I'm glad they did it. We'll see if there's any other moves out there at corner, D tackle still. We haven't seen the money for Trent, but we all know it wasn't $26 million or whatever the Bengals still had. So definitely some moves still to come. And we will be back tomorrow to recap all this, talk about everything. What's good? And you guys can always go back, check us out on YouTube. Shows are always up there. Please like and subscribe. You can watch it from the beginning. Talk about the man meat, Trent Brown. But tomorrow, Paul Dehner Jr. from The Athletic. So get his insight, get his thoughts on everything live at 3:30 again tomorrow. Friday, we'll be at 7 o'clock with Joe and Glenn Goodberry. So we'll talk Bengals. We'll talk some Bills with Glenn on there. We'll talk a lot more Bengals probably. Shh, don't tell Glenn. But we're a Bengals show. Yeah. And we love Glenn. Probably some shenanigans. Talk about Halo, the TV show. Who knows on Friday?
Ghostbusters.
Those Friday, the shows with the Goodberries tend to get wild. If you ever want to go back, we've had them on a few different times, and they tend to get a little out of control at some point. But we'll see how long those guys have. But it's starting at 7 p.m. on Friday instead of 3:30, so everyone should already be feeling pretty good on a Friday night. Happy about the moves. Hopefully we got a couple more left in this free agency. Go in the draft. Nail the draft. Things are looking good for next season. Keep Joe Burrow healthy. That's the big thing. So, the more they invest in the line, the happier I'm going to be personally. So keep doing that, and let's see what we got. Greg, tell the people about Midwest and 50 West, and then I'll click in on this.
Go to 50 West and Midwest Best Barbecue, proud sponsors of the show. Both are awesome. It's like having Trent Brown and Orlando Brown at the same time.
That was nice, Greg. And then our draft event will be April 26th on day 2 of the draft at Midwest Best Barbecue. Those tickets are sold out for the draft part of it, but you can come from 5 to 7. So if you want to go home and watch the draft still, you can come, get you a Cincy hat. Cincy hat will be there. A hat that hasn't been released yet will be there. Can't give away more details than that yet, but it's pretty badass. I've seen it. I like it. Hoping I can get one because I won't be there till closer to 7. But yeah, should be a good time. So swing by April 26th. We'll be doing a live show also on the first night of the draft, the 25th. Me, the Iceman, Pork Chop, Houday Joe, maybe a few other surprise guests, maybe a Parker Blake, maybe a draft guy Jared. We had all kinds of guests last year during those few days, and we may do one on Saturday of them too. But super pumped. Appreciate y'all. Paul Daner will be on tomorrow at 3:30.